I just wanted to discuss all the possible reasons that are there, for you to walk the spiritual path. So, it is very important if you are consciously, as a beginner, you're getting into spirituality and you want to walk this path. So, it is just very important for you to be clear in your head, why am I walking this? What are the reasons? So, just listed a few reasons out here. One is God, the other is enlightenment, then reaching a spiritual milestone, opening chakras, a kundalini, wisdom, truth, spiritual gifts, helping people around, escaping your challenging reality, people, relationships, distraction from the loser you are in the material 3D world. So, these are some of the possible reasons that I have listed out here, and I want to discuss it. These could be your reasons for walking spiritual path, and you should be aware of it. And what of the reasons are, it is for your discernment, like what of all these reasons, which of the reason is a better one or what of the reasons is not. Like, it's so important to be clear in your head. I'm not here to say that this reason is good, that is not, but let's just discuss it so that you can come to a discernment, like which of the following is a good one or not for yourself. Okay, what do you feel called for? It is very important for you, or for anyone out there who is, as a beginner, starting to consciously tread the spiritual path now. So what are his reasons, or why is he doing what is he doing? So it becomes very important, so that you stay focused, and you stay centered all through your path. So I think it's a must requirement for a beginner, first of all, to really be clear in their own selves. And before starting this discussion, I would want to talk about who am I and why am I doing what I'm doing. So, first of all, I am a learner, and I'm myself on my spiritual path. Yes, I feel, yes, a few milestones I have achieved, received, whatever, on my spiritual journey, but I am not still there yet. I am, yeah, I'm moving, I'm myself expanding, and हम सब एक चेतना के स्तर पर होते हैं. तो मैं भी एक चेतना के स्तर पर हूँ, and it is not in comparison with somebody else. Okay, like, spirituality is all about you getting back to your own home. Okay, so it's not like there's one house and then there are 100 people who are in a race, who's going to reach the home first. It's not like that. Everybody has their own home, and they all have to reach to their own home. And one person who reaches quick, let's say, to their own home, will surely gonna help the other to reach home quickly, right? So it's not some race going on, and it's not in comparison that I I have a much evolved than somebody or not, but it's just that I started early, that's it. Maybe, whatever. Okay, and why am I doing what I'm doing is because a simple example of it would be, if somebody is into alcohol and is into um, all these things, what would he do? He would inspire people around him, or people in his group, to, like, try it out, it's very nice, you should go ahead. So how people, at whatever level they are, they try to pull you to that level. So, as simple as that, I am also just doing what I know. It's what I know, and I just wanted to share out there. Somebody who is a beginner, or somebody who is in between or lost, maybe this video could be of some help. So I just wanted to give a little introduction about me, my intentions. I want to set it right. And I think now we can further move with the video, with the discussion. So, the very first reason for walking a spiritual path is God. Like, if you're walking the path because you want to meet God, it's a good idea. Like, not bad, but spirituality is actually more about reaching your own home. It's more about discovering your own self. And even if God appears, like, why would you want to meet God? You need to ask yourself. So maybe you don't need to write it down right now on a piece of paper. Like, why do you want to meet God? Because if you have certain expectations or you want something from God or something like that, I don't think so it's a good idea. Because, the wisdom says, if God appears in front of you, let's say if God appears in front of you, then you should, rather asking from him something, the best you should do is um, ask him what he needs. And the chances are that he's going to ask all your darkness. The chances are he's going to take away all your demons. So whenever God appears, he's more of the kind, to be asked what you need or what you want. And trust me, if he's really your God, he's really going to ask your darkness and your demons. That's how things are. Spirituality is not about God. Like, maybe you can meet God on your, path, but still it's not the end. Spirituality is more about discovering yourself, knowing your own self, in many ways. So yeah, and if you get God's grace, like, on your path, your spirituality is going to speed up for sure. So yeah, he is beautiful in that sense. God is necessary in that sense, maybe. I won't say necessary, but every like everyone's home is different, their journey is also different. So who knows, you know what do you want in your life? So let universe decide that. And if universe sees you and it just sees that you need a help or something, it would just send you somebody, maybe a god even, who knows. So, but spirituality is more about finding your own self, finding your own self, and discovering your own self. Next is enlightenment. So I have been so fancied by this concept of enlightenment. When I first got to know that there's something like enlightenment, and it's just not the stories. Well, I've just heard them in the stories, but when I really read people and when I really, got in touch with spiritual people and everything, and I found, oh my God, this is true. Like, we can really know things, without books, without internet, without Google. We can know things. And I've been a curious child all my life. I wanted to know everything, like why things happen the way they happen, you know, why there's stars in the sky, why is moon, sun, everything is in the sky, like what is all this happening? Why do we sleep? Why do we eat? Everything I wanted to know as a child. And even if I grew up, I think I just got into other problems, so forgot about my questions. But yeah, it was always there. All these questions are always there. So I thought I will get the enlightenment and I'll know everything. So I really fancied the idea of enlightenment. But on my way to my spiritual path, I my desire for enlightenment burned. It burned when the wisdom came that things happen exactly when they're supposed to, or exactly when you're ready. So, when I am ready, it's gonna happen to me. And it's not something that I can strive for, it's not something that I can put efforts to. Because surely it's more of a receiving thing. So when you receive something, you don't really put efforts to that, right? You don't put efforts in receiving, you definitely put efforts in chasing, but when it comes to receiving, it's the most effortless state. So when universe sees you in that zone where now you can take, you can take the secrets of the universe, it's going to burst it out in you, and you will just know it one day. So yeah, my desire for it burned on the way. And with so much hard work and so much inner work that I did, like, I don't feel I need it anymore. I mean, I have other things to do right now, and I have other callings right now. So, also, we cannot do this. We cannot do enlightenment. It just happens to us. But yeah, okay. Next is reaching a spiritual milestone. So, um, we usually see spirituality, because we are so used to the 3D material world, that you have to achieve, you have to gather, you have to have things, you have to have degrees, you have to have a job, you have to have a home, you have to settle down, you have to have a car, you have to have a home. We are so used to in being achieving mode all the time, that we think, um even spirituality is all about that. It's all about reaching or achieving, but it's not like that. It doesn't work like that. um as I said, even in the beginning of the video, spirituality is moving to your own home. It's coming to your own home, right? It's not about achieving something. It's not. And spiritual milestones are such that, when you get there, you just don't feel like telling anyone, that what has happened. And it's just so peaceful and just so, it's only, when you achieve something, it's like you would want to show it off to other people, because it's still not, it has not given you that kind of a peace. So you just want to tell other people, and only then it will give you peace. But a spiritual milestone, when it really comes into your life, you don't want to tell people. It's so peaceful inside of you that you don't want to tell people. It's beautiful. Yes. So, Eve, I just want to add one more thing with reaching a spiritual milestone, that it's more of, you become who you are inside of you more. All right. For example, a mango tree will come out to be a mango tree, right? If you put the seed of a mango tree, it's coming out to be a mango tree. If you put the seed of a neem tree, it's going to be put out of a neem tree. So spiritual milestones are also very different. Just because somebody is having a spiritual milestone of some kind, it is not important that you're also supposed to have that only. And that is only, the success bar. Because we are so, used to that kind of a thing in our material 3D world. Everyone is shown that one damn, race line or something, and then everybody has to walk that way only. What if nobody wants to run? What if somebody wants to just sleep? But they just show everyone that same damn thing, and everyone has to run towards it. So yeah, I mean, so spiritual milestone is also different for different people. Your journey towards your own home, your own house is going to be different. Okay, who you are inside of you is different. So yeah, one more thing I just wanted to add when it comes to spiritual milestones, right? Next is opening chakras or kundalini. I mean, okay, as there are people who are into it, and some are successful, some are not, some are still doing it. I don't know. I have never went into something like this. I had never went into something like this, because I don't know, I don't feel a call for it. There are people who feel call for it, and maybe they can go. It's fine, but I feel there are few people who like kind of fancy this thing, opening chakras or kundalini or something. It's they see it as, they see it as an achievement. It's again the same point that I want to make here. It's not an achievement. So even if you feel call for it, you go, right? But if you're going towards it because it just feels like a fancy thing to do or something to achieve or satisfy your own ego, um, you're not walking a spiritual path. Because when you walk a spiritual path with full of soul, full of spirit, your ego cannot go there. I'm sorry. So yeah, next is wisdom. So yeah, I mean, whenever I was a um, whenever I used to study, even I used to relate, science and spirituality a lot. I had science in my 11th and 12th, so I used to relate spirituality with science a lot at times when I used to do it. And somebody gave me a book later on, and the same thing was written in it, like what I kind of draw the similarity to. So, wisdom has always been, very attractive to me. um but yeah, eventually what I've learned is that all this wisdom is fine, but there is just this one truth. Okay, and there are laws. Even Lao Tzu, if you Lao Tzu, even I don't know, Chinese, philosophers and everything. If you ancient ones, okay, ancient ones. So if you read them, you will find the law. They've written a lot about the laws of universe. How uh, universe works, and theory of karma. How does that really work? That is also very beautiful. When I really got to know how karma theory works, and it is not what we think it is. And yeah, so all this wisdom is good, but at the end of the day, I feel there's just one truth, and I feel I'm not there yet. But yeah, so yes, I have been very, you know and this kind of wisdom soothes your soul. It just brings you so much peace. You feel more calmer, you feel more silent inside of you. Like all your negativities, all your lower frequencies, you started to stay away from your jealousy, you started to stay away from anger. All these lower frequencies just go away when real wisdom kicks in. So it's very beautiful to, have wisdom. But ultimately, it's just one truth. And I don't think so I've reached that. And yeah. But wisdom is a very beautiful, way. I mean, it just brings so much peace in your life. You feel a lot more silent. It just speeds up your process, of reaching that truth. So yeah. Next is truth. I think this is the best. This is the best reason for walking a spiritual path. Finding out what is really the truth, you know, of all this existence of ours, of all this existence of all other people, you know. Are we separate? Are we one? How do we exist? And then what is time? What is space? All of this thing. So, eventually that is all wisdom, but it will just take you to that one damn truth. And I feel truth is one of the best reasons to walk a spiritual path. Whenever, once in a while I feel lost on my spiritual path, then I, just come back to myself and, ask myself, why am I walking this? Why am I doing all of this? So I think truth is one of the best reasons, I think, according to me. Yeah. Next is spiritual gifts. So, spiritual gifts are good, and you know, they are your path. Definitely, spiritual gifts are your path. You have to walk that path. You have to find your center while walking that path. It's very important. Um, it's just, I think spiritual gifts are one of our milestones. They're not ultimate, but they're the milestones that you achieve on your path, and they are your path itself. And yeah, it's, again, how you use it, how you create with it, and everything, how you flow with your spiritual gifts. All of this is, ultimately your spiritual path. It's just that universe has given you something. Now you play with this, you play with your spiritual gifts. It's just another phase of your spiritual path, walking a spiritual path. Maybe universe is testing you, maybe universe is making you stronger in, other ways. So we can never really calculate what universe is up to. But yeah, spiritual gifts are also, I think, it's just on one of the milestone, but never the end. Then helping people around is quite a funny idea, because you cannot help people have to help themselves. You can definitely do your best. I can post my videos, I can post content, but definitely people have to help themselves. they have to help themselves ultimately. And that's all I can do, right? um yeah, so it's very important that we be in some center, and then do what we do. So you cannot really help people. And one of the funniest thing is, when you change yourself, literally your reality changes. The people around you change by themselves. It's so beautiful a phenomena. And that also shows the wisdom that how we all are one. One person in your group is very intelligent, or is doing something good. you know Somewhere, either others will leave him. Okay, some of them are going to leave him or her, and some of them are going to be like, change like he is changing, or change like she is changing. So you definitely help people. You either send them their own way, or they get inspired by you, like, okay, something is happening and this is beautiful and we want to be a part of it. So other people may think around that. So you can just, either you can trigger people, or either you can inspire them. So everybody is going to choose their path, right? So helping people around is not what it is. It's, you cannot help people, people help themselves. So you also have to help yourself. And once you help yourself, either people get triggered or either people get inspired, and let them choose their own path, right? Have compassion, have don't feel sorry for anyone. Just have compassion and just let them choose their own path. Next is escaping your challenging reality, people, relationships. So even the last point, I think second last and last point are the same. Distraction from the loser you are in the material 3D world. Either your situations are very challenging and that's why you want to take up spirituality. It's not a good idea, because spirituality is basically reaching a union. So there's nothing like material life. Sometimes in speech we do use material 3D world and then spiritual world, but ultimately they're all one and they're all in union. So if you have to walk a spiritual path, everything from eating, sleeping, walking, like studying, your career, marriage, all of this is part of your spiritual life, of your spiritual world, and use them in your spiritual world. Yeah, they are materials to be used for your evolving your consciousness. So you don't have to escape them. You don't have to see it that I'm not working well in my material life, so let me go to spiritual world and try it and then achieve something in it. You're still in your ego. You're not walking it because of your soul, because your heart wants it, but you're doing it to satisfy your ego. So I don't think it's a good idea. So the best thing you can do is that just remember that everything is one. There are no two worlds in it. And especially, I always say this, there are people who go to mountains and then they take like years and even lifetimes to reach their path. And then there are people who are staying in the material 3D world. They're into marriages, they're into relationships, they're having problems, struggle with their careers, everything, and they do so well, spiritually, because they have lots of material. But when you go out there in the mountains, there's no really a material for you to use it. If you're here in this material world, it is easy to apply spirituality, it's easy to learn spirituality, it is easy to learn the laws of the world, spiritual world. But in mountains, you're just all alone, and there might be a lion like moving around you. I don't know, outside your cave or something. The chances are you could be eaten. I don't know. So stay in your material world and then do it. It's gonna speed up. You will speed up. Your spirituality will just speed up. So yeah, all these are the points that I wanted to discuss. And yes, do write it in the comments. What do you think about this? And there's something I can add. There's something that I was, I said something wrong, or you disagree with any of the points, or you agree with any of the points. Do write it in the comments so that I can also improve, you can also improve. So yeah.